hopefully the last video made some sense and you know your way around Connect and you've managed to make some of the classes. So this next video is just about how I create my classes and what I need to do to be able to create different sections and different lessons using Connect. So I'm in the content section of our Connect page, and then at the moment I don't have any published content. This is where I'm going to create all my lessons. So up in here in the top corner we're going to add a section. I'm going to call this Lesson 1, Adding Content. And you might like to call it Week 1 and have a whole week's worth of content in there. For now I'm just going to worry about this. And I don't want to publish it yet because it's not been completed, so I'm going to save it as a draft. And then that opens you straight into the Adding Content window. I'm going to add in, and I always like to start off with a little bit of text that has my learning intentions, and my success criteria for that lesson. So our learning intention is to, I always want to add in the dot points, know how to add content and embed media into content, into lessons. And our success criteria is to do it in your own teaching. In this window you can change all sorts of things. You can change what font you want and what size. I find that this is quite small, so I always make it small. I think the default size is XX small. So when I save it, there we've got our learning intentions, our success criteria at the beginning of the lesson, so our kids know what it is they are doing and what they need to be able to achieve. And then I often put in a video. So when we're adding a video, we need to embed the media. So we're getting this code and this caption in there. So I've got my own YouTube channel here with all of my content that I want to be teaching my kids. And so for example, I'm going to bring up a video. So I want my kids to learn about the circle of fifths. And I know that this is a really good video. When I want to embed that media, I need to right click the screen, go copy embed code, and then go back into my embedded media, back into my Connect page. Paste it in there, give it a fancy title, circle of fifths, and you can choose your size. I like large. I find extra large takes up too much space in my page, and there it is. So this is a video, so they know what they're learning. That's the video, and often it's a lecture that I record for them about the content that they're doing. After that, I might like to add a file that they can have a look at or have a read through. And so I'm going to go with our CIS versus flexible classes. So this is a little bit of information about the difference between CIS and flexible classes that we were talking about last time. When I upload that, it takes the title off of the file and puts it into the name, but I just want to make sure that that's a capital, and you can save it there. And so it adds it just underneath. If you ever want to change the order, you just need to use the little buttons, the move up and move down. If you don't want kids to see it, then you can hide it. If you want to change something, you can change it. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. Pretty self-explanatory. The one thing that I do not like about Connect is that you can't embed anything that isn't from these websites. So you have to have any media from Khan Academy or YouTube or Amara or Sway is the only thing that you can put in, which is really frustrating because I like to do interactive things. So I like to do match card games or fill in the blank games and that sort of thing. For that reason, I have a separate Google website that I've created, and we have little activities that the kids can do that. So if I want them to go to this website, then I'm going to grab the URL. I'm going to add a link into that page. So add link. The name is, I'll call it Mr. H's Connect Lessons. And there we go. So now then when we go click on that, it opens up in a new page. and the kids can get on with the activities once they load. Thank you, our school internet. So for example, if you're in a science class and you wanted to make sure that your kids knew about science safety equipment, we can put safety glasses, make sure we're spelling correctly. We always wear a lab coat, and we need to wear gloves to protect our hands. If someone breaks a glass beaker, we must get the brush and clean it up straight away. When you press check, the kids will see that, oh, they didn't get brush, but they can kind of check, maybe we want dustpan or we want broom. You can add a whole bunch of different words in there as well. There are other ways that we can use it. So here I've got a little matching game where the kids can use flashcards to try and match Indigenous iconography. So they're going to go through and try and match them together. You can make it say different words. There it is. And once they get it, it grays itself out. So this is a really awesome way of just engaging the kids with ICT and making sure that they're getting instant feedback, and they're kind of engaging in a little bit more visual stuff, particularly for our kids that can't read well. That's always really, really fun. But you can't do it inside of Connect. You have to go to an external website. I like Google Sites because it's secure, it's easy for the kids to navigate, and it's easy for us as teachers to create a Google website. That's just what I like doing with my kids. So I put the link in there as well, and they'll do those sorts of activities. When we go into here, once it's all sorted and we want to make sure that our kids can actually see the lesson, we go manage sections and make sure you select drafts, and then we can publish it using the little 3 dots there. Once that is published, the kids can see it under their content and then access all of that information there as well.